Something strange happens in silence. The noise stops and you get louder. Not your thoughts, not your memories. You. Why? Right now, before we go any further, let's just pause for few moments. Don't think, notice. What's here when you stop adding anything? That. We are going to look at that. We feel every moment music in the car, podcast, when we walk, phone before sleep. We treat silence like an empty room, something to be furnished, fixed, escape. What's interesting is that when people describe moments of genuine aliveness, like a morning before anyone woke up, standing in front of the ocean, that second after the music ends, what they almost always describe is silence. So, when do you feel most like you? Is it in mid conversation, scrolling, or in the gaps? Let's check this right now. Not theoretically. Go to the last time you felt genuinely, quietly okay. Was there a noise? Or was there stillness? Something is already pointing at itself. We assume silent is the absence of sound, the leftover space when things go quiet. Now, wherever you are, listen for the most distant sound you can detect. Now, what heard that sound? Where is that? We just use something that has no sound of its own. Something completely still. And it heard everything. Did that stillness start when the sound stopped? Or was it already there underneath all of it the whole time? Find the edge of it. Where does the quiet in you begin? Where does it end? Can you find an edge? Think about your life for a moment. How much has changed? People, places, versions of yourself, believe you were certain of, all gone. The teenager, gone. The certainties of 5 years ago, gone. But something has been here through all of it. Something that watched the teenager and the certainties and all of the changes. Find that right now. Not a thought about it. The actual watcher. You're aware of this video. Now notice you're aware of being aware. What is that? Is it loud or quiet? Is it busy or still? This is what you touch in silence. Not emptiness, not nothing. Something that was never noisy. The divine doesn't arrive in silence. Silence is where you discover what already here. If this stillness is always here, why do we run from silence? Because in silence, the constructions, if you will, or how things are built, becomes visible. The story you're telling about who you are, what you need, what's wrong, it's get quieter. And when the story quiets down, what remains can feel strange, unfamiliar, like meeting someone you always live with but never looked at directly. It takes some courage. That initial discomfort in silence, that's not the absence of you. That's the presence of you without being dressed up. What the noise drowns out isn't unpleasant. It's just very, very still. And stillness doesn't need anything added to it. What's been happening this whole time? Why do we feel most alive in silence? As if silence were something unusual, special, special condition, if you will. The stillness you encounter in silence isn't created by removing the noise. It's what you are during the noise, underneath the noise, before the noise, regardless of the noise. The phone, the music, the rushing, none of that touched it. Even right now, in the middle of a video with thoughts moving and words being heard, stillness is here, unchanged. You feel most alive in silence, not because silence gives you something, but because in silence there is less to mistake yourself for. You stop identifying with the noise and recognize what was already listening. And you can try not as practice, not as homework, just as an experiment. The next time you reach for your phone, just pause. Just pause for a short moment before you pick it up. Don't do anything. Don't try to be still. Don't try to feel peaceful. Just notice. Just notice what's already here in this short moment. You're not trying to create silence. Check whether something is already silent. A short moment. That's it. You'll find something, and I'm not going to tell you what, because the moment I describe it, you look for what I describe instead of what's actually here. The stillness you touch in silence isn't something silence creates. It's something silence reveals. That stillness has no quality, so I genuinely cannot describe it using words, not because it's complicated, because language moves and this doesn't. Every attempt to name it becomes another sound on top of it. You'll discover it yourself, not by meditating, not by seeking it. It tends to show up when you are doing something ordinary, washing dishes, walking, waiting, and you suddenly notice this has always been here. When that happens, you'll understand something that this was pointing at. And you'll realize the question was never why you feel the most alive in silence. The question was always, what is it that's alive?